So, how did your challenge go last week without water in your home? We have a new challenge for this week. Stay with us, we'll get right to it. Hi, this is Vicki with the 411. We are here on our 52-week emergency preparedness challenge, and we are on week 41. We are approaching the end of our year, and I'm so excited. I feel so much better prepared, and I hope you feel better prepared as well. And we're going to keep up the good work for a few more weeks. So, thank you for subscribing. Take these videos. If you like them, share them. Give me a thumbs up, like them. With anything you can do to help my YouTube channel, I appreciate it. Share it with your friends. Get your family and friends on board with this. Let them start watching from the beginning and see what they can do to better prepare themselves. All right, for this week, for our food, it says we need to get a case of vegetables. Can be any kind of vegetables, whatever your favorite vegetables are, whatever your family's going to eat, whatever is easy for you to store. Now that's for pantry. If you want to do long term, I would recommend getting something more bulk that's in freeze dried, or I wouldn't go dehydrated, but freeze dried. And remember, when I buy things in a large freeze dried can, I then turn around and store them in jars. So, like, this is some broccoli that I'm going to store to fix a meal. And at the bottom of every can, there's always a lot of dust. I call it dust. It's just little tidbits of it. This is broccoli tidbits. This will go great in a potato soup, giving it a little color. It'll go great in a cheddar soup. You can put it in any kind of vegetable soup. It's just a good use so that you're not wasting any of the products from your can. So all that beautiful dust that's in the bottom of those cans are good to use. All right, for our household, it says to, and this is the most perfect timing, get a 6-month supply of dish soap. Look where mine is. So I now have 2 of these on my shopping list because I need one for my pantry and one for my long-term storage. So 6 months worth of dish soap. For our 72-hour survival kits, it says to add 2 more pairs of socks. Now, during the summer, I usually wear a no-show ankle sock or, inside my shoe sock for spring and summer. But it's getting a little cooler outside, and sometimes I don't want my ankles to show, so I'll go with a little bit higher sock. You want to get something warm. Um, it's always good to have a few extra pairs in case you come across somebody that's in need that's been in wet socks for 2 days and would love to have a fresh pair of socks. It's always good to share. In our emergency, add $30 more, and thank you. You will thank yourself at the end of this that you'll have that, or one of these days you'll be kicking yourself wishing that you did do this. So keep up the good work, and let's add that $30 in each week. All right, for our family prep, I want to just ask you a couple of questions about how your emergency day went last week. Last week was we were without water. We had a water main break. City has cut off water. So I want you to think about how much water did your family actually use? Was it more or less than what you expected? Was it easy to access the stored water that you had, or was it buried under some boxes or in the basement, or somewhere where you couldn't get to it real easy? Did your family complain about the taste or the temperature or the inconvenience? If they did, then you need to address that. You need to think about how you can do to better that. If this outage was to last more than 3 to 5 days, what would quickly become your biggest problem? So think about that. And how many days could you survive with only the water you have stored? Now, we've been working on saving money for water jugs or water barrels, whatever's going to work best for your family. So think about how you're going to improve your water situation from last week's emergency situation. So this week's emergency situation is there is civil unrest, and we've seen that all over this world. Civil unrest has broken out in your city. Roads are blocked, protests have turned violent, and local authorities are overwhelmed. In times like this, your best defense may not be a gadget, it can be your awareness. Being able to notice what's happening around you, avoid danger, and act quickly can keep you and your loved ones safe. So think about this week. Pick a day where you're going to focus on this. Have a little chat with your family when you get through and talk about this. Here's some examples you can do while running your errands one day, or even just walking around your neighborhood. Practice situational awareness. Some of that would be being mindful of your surroundings. If you're in any kind of building, locate where your nearest exits are. Watch people without staring. Notice nonverbal cues that people have about them. Limit your distraction. This is a lot of where mothers with lots of children come into trouble. Is they're distracted. I've seen it in parking lots. Mothers trying to get all their children and their groceries in, and this door's left open while the trunk's going this, and I'm like, that's an ample opportunity for something to happen. Trust your gut. Sometimes my guts have been a false alarm, but I felt better that I trusted my gut than second guessed myself, because there's been times my gut was right and I was glad I did trust my gut. Be strategic. Think about what you're going to do when certain situations arise. Carry protection if that's necessary. There's just ways to help yourself be better. Um, when towns have, I've seen this on TV, where people have the the march uptown. They want to have their peaceful march for whatever it is the civil unrest is about. I have seen people up there with children in strollers and children, toddlers, and young children walking along with them. That's great if you want to teach these type of experiences to your children. But when it breaks out in violence, that is not where I want my children to be. That is not what I want my children to witness. So follow your gut and be aware of what you're stepping into when you're going to some of these protests. So go over some safety tips with your children, such as always know where the nearest exit is. Hold hands in a crowd. That's a good one to do. Memorize their full name, their phone number, and their home address. Now, that's going to be hard for little ones to do, but your teens and unders can do that. Look up, not down. Heads up, not in your phone. I've caught myself doing that when I'm walking the track at a park. I'm walking down here. I'm watching my feet for some reason, like I'm afraid I'm going to stumble or something. And I go, okay, stand up, shoulders back. Let's watch where I'm going. I could have my head down and someone could conk me over the head and I don't know who it was. So always look up and recognize helpers in public access places like store clerks, police officers, another mother, somebody that would be able to help your children in an emergency. All right, so that's it. Our civil unrest. So let's think about that this week. Talk it over with your family, how you would handle these type of things with your family. And the last thing is add $10 more to that water storage fund, whether it's barrels or water jugs, however you need to do it, get it and get it done. Thanks for watching. This is Vicki again with the 411. Remember to subscribe, like, share with your friends, and we'll see you next week for a new challenge. Thanks.